Right, so we're talking episode 7 of season 2 of Doom Patrol, where we see Cliff has made it back to Earth. Ronnie meets the gang, and can we trust Miranda? We're going to talk about that and much more. Episode 7 of Doom Patrol was titled Dumb Patrol. Miranda helps protect the Doom Patrol from some truly terrible ideas after a mysterious package arrives at the Doom Manor. Rita visits the Covington beekeeper, leads her to confront her lingering mommy issues. While on his way back to the manor, Cliff ends up stuck on the side of the road, literally. Niles heads north to find Dorothy's mother. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Movie Files. Elliot back again with my weekly recap, breakdown, review of Season 2, Episode 7, Dumb Patrol. Very excited to break down this episode because this is a very interesting episode, to say the least. If you're not too familiar with my format here, I do full spoilers, so if you haven't seen the latest episode of Doom Patrol, go check it out, come back and join the conversation. But if you've seen it, you're in the right place. Before we break it down, as you can see on the screen now, make sure you're following me on all my other social media accounts. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Give this video a thumbs up, helps out the channel, but I also really appreciate it. And last but not least, again, let me know your thoughts on the episode, your pros, your cons. Can we trust Miranda with that reveal in the underground where a persona is closed? What do we think about Niles giving the order to maybe take out Dorothy? Let's talk about all that stuff in the comments below. So let's just, initial thoughts. I really enjoyed this episode. This is one of those episodes where we get a separation of our group as we normally see in this show. But, we get an interesting group with, seeing Larry, Ronnie meeting the crew. We get Cyborg. We get the new persona Miranda, and seems pretty nice until we get that reveal with Jane at the end. And then we get a really big moment with, Niles at the end of the episode. So really fun episode. I was hoping that we got an appearance from Mr. Nobody, but if you all do not know, he is in the middle of shooting. I believe he was shooting during this time. He was shooting Harley Quinn season 2, so which will be making an appearance. Season 1 and 2, which I have not seen that show, will be on HBO Max come next month. So I'm very excited to check out that show. But nevertheless, let's get into this recap / breakdown of this episode. So opening moments, we get, somewhere in Switzerland where this gentleman's leaving a message to Niles about a particular package, which we'll come to find out pretty soon. And the opening moments, we see that Cliff lands on Earth. So this is definitely a moment where it's just like, okay, this is a comic book show, and you got to kind of suspend your disbelief, because it's just like Cliff magically lands on Earth and happens to land not too far away from the Doom Manor. So, you got to put that aside, because, it is a show with a talking robot, a woman that has 64 personalities or superpowers. We have a blob lady. We have a man with a negative spirit. We have Cyborg. So sometimes you got to just put those logical things aside, that he was able to find his way back home by the end of the episode. But nevertheless, Cliff smashes into a sign where we get the Vegetable Man, I believe was the character, the half raptor, half man character. We see that he has a book out called My Side. I thought that was a really, again, the show's fourth wall breaking, the jokes, the little inside jokes for us that have watched these seasons. It's just so great to see that moment there. But, as we kind of move forward, Rita and Niles have kind of an offshoot this episode, but they do learn some important things for this season. We see Rita's mostly through this episode. She is preparing for the role as the beekeeper. She has one line, but we see that very early on in the episode, she's having a dream. At first, I'm thinking, like, is her mother back in some way? She's created her in her mind as a dream or as a ghost type of figure. But no, we see that it is a dream, that Rita's mom is still haunting her in regards of how to get certain positions, how to get opportunities given to you, and we kind of see how that all plays out through this episode. But as expected, as I had mentioned weeks ago, we do see Ronnie has come with Cyborg to the Doom Manor, where, they proceed to want to have Ronnie figure out about her tech and give her surgery. So that is something to keep an eye out for, because there is a moment at the end of this episode that kind of leaves me wondering what Ronnie is really up to. Does she have some type of alternative motives? But we see the introduction to Ronnie and the crew. She meets Larry and Miranda, which, speaking of Miranda, it seems very early on that, Miranda is a fan of Rita. She's cooking breakfast for everyone. She seems to be very cheery, very helpful to the group, which I think that might be a facade, which we'll talk a little bit about later. But, she's cooking breakfast, seems very delightful, wants to make amends to Dorothy on the behalf of the underground. So again, Miranda's saying and doing the right things to really make the gang enjoy her presence. But we'll talk about Miranda here towards the end. But a mysterious crate arrives at the manor, and there's some purple scent that comes out of the package, and the package clearly literally says on there, please do not open, by any means do not open. But this is when I'm thinking to myself, oh, they open the package and it's the painting that has Mr. Nobody and the Beard Hunter in there. And I'm thinking to myself, oh man, are we going to get Mr. Nobody make an appearance in this episode? Which he ultimately doesn't. Like I said, he was shooting Harley Quinn's show, as I believe he's voicing a ton of characters on the show, but I think he is voicing the Joker. So I was hoping that we got him, but who knows? We got 2 episodes left, but I don't think he'll make an appearance this season, which is unfortunate. But either way, we see Miranda is willing to talk and kind of listen to different people in the group, such as Larry. Larry asks Miranda to do him a favor. We see that they go to the hospital. He wants to see his grandson. The Bureau of Normancy is kind of waiting for him to do so, and we kind of get like a little funny moment where, they're transporting themselves as doctors, pretending to be doctors, but we know why they're pretending to do these things, because they're under the influence of, we'll talk about the scent and the love bug here in a minute, but we do see Miranda again. She's doing all the necessary things to make the group think she's on their side and to help them out, so something to keep important and keep an eye out for. So we definitely get a hint at whatever has what's in the crate is definitely everyone's acting strange, because we see at this point Cyborg has Ronnie downstairs. They're seamlessly going to perform surgery on her. Cyborg tells Ronnie he loves her. So this is at this point that we get the Constantine type of character. Get Kipling back, the return. Like I say, it reminds me very much so of Constantine, but he tells the crew that this the scent that they have inherited or sniffed or has been consumed by is the love bug. And she has her little, there's a queen involved. There's some jelly involved. Again, this is the stuff that I love about Doom Patrol, when they get wacky, when they get wild, when they do the unorthodox things. And I just love all this stuff that we get from this moment here. And this is the craziness that I love about the Doom Patrol. In the meantime, we see Cliff. Again, like I said, Cliff and Rita and Niles, like I said, have kind of like an offshoot mission. So we see, meanwhile, Cliff is, convinced himself he needs to kill Niles, on this kind of road to redemption and kind of on his way to getting back to Doom Matter. I'll just kind of wrap up Cliff's story. He's on the side of the road. He's having his mechanical issues still, but, he wants to kind of, again, he's thinking about his daughter. He calls his daughter. He sees someone on the road and has to do these little video cameo things as they do now with social media. But Cliff really wants to still make amends with his daughter, and we get that nice moment at the end of this episode where his daughter, Clara, is there with the videotape, and she now understands what he's been through and why he hasn't been in her life, which I thought was a really good moment. So, Rita has a similar case in this episode where she kind of makes amends, kind of atones to her mother's sins, and kind of talks about, kind of confronting the things that her mother put in her life, because she meets the beekeeper who isn't nice to her daughter. So she has a kind of an offshoot, kind of a light bulb moment, kind of comes to amends with the stuff for her mom. And then Niles has a really interesting episode, because he's on the Norway, wherever the forest was that he, met the cave woman where he had, his daughter Dorothy. And in this moment with Miles, we see that he's confronted. We get the longest scene that we get with the candle maker, and he tells Niles, the mother's dead, so that's official now, confirmed. But also in the creation of Dorothy, the birth of Dorothy, not only birthed her, but also birthed the existence of the candle maker, and that the ancestors attach the candle maker to Dorothy, probably in a sense of protection, but there's also something else there. So it'll be really interesting to find out what we get with that information. But back to like the fun stuff of the episode. Back to our crew, which is Ronnie, Larry, Miranda, and Cyborg. They enter the painting. We meet the Beer Hunter again, which that character was just so funny to me in this episode. He paints himself in all white. He's wearing these kind of purple Beast Boy type of shorts from the comics. We see that he kind of fills them in about the Queen's Army people. And also we find out that Mr. Nobody is doing some other cartoon show. He got a spinoff show, which again hints towards the fourth wall breaking of him being in Harley Quinn, which again, I can't wait to see what the show is all about, because I've heard so many great things about it. But we get all that stuff. They get captured, and in this moment, this is where we get the badass moment with, to me, again, this shows why Crazy Jane is the best character in the show. She saves the crew. She pokes a hole in the queen's waterbed. She electrocutes them and saves them. And again, this is just showing the crew that Miranda is here to stay. She is a good warrior. She's good. She's nice to have on these missions. So again, she's building on this goodwill for our crew, which again is something that we do have to pay attention to, because again, I don't know if we can trust Miranda, but again, the whole queen and her love bug thing reminded me of, this is like the Doom Patrol of Teletubbies, which I got a really good kick out of and thought it was hilarious. But again, we do get a smaller moment with Rita, which I thought they should have spent a little bit more time on. We see Rita in her beekeeper outfit save some random guy in the alley as she uses her powers, as we see that she again has kind of put aside her issues with her mother and now is embracing her own self as a woman, which in return gives her the ability to use her powers. But we only spent like 20 seconds on that. I wish they would have dove deeper into that, because this is a really pivotal moment. But as we wrap up the episode, Ronnie leaves, and let me know in the comments, Ronnie has like some tube of something. I don't know if it was something from the love bug, if it was just something she stole from the Doom Manor. Let me know what you all, I might have missed it, but let me know what you all think is in that container that she took with her. Let me know in the comments. Like I said up top, we wrap up the episode, but Doom, Cliff meets his daughter. They seem to maybe want to embrace each other and learn more about each other, because Clara finds out why he's been gone so long, because she has the tape, and I believe Niles sent her that tape. And wrapping up the episode, we see Jane is in the underground. She seems to be a bit jealous of Miranda's success and her victory of saving the team, but she finds out that one of the Persona station has been closed, which I think hints at the idea that maybe potentially Miranda is closing off. She had mentioned when we met her last week that she had had put those two personas, the fiery figure and baby doll, and there was another character that I can't remember right now, that they just let them go. We don't need them right now. So I think Miranda, for whatever reason, might be wanting to take out the entire underground and be the one main persona. So that's something to keep an eye out for, is Miranda might not be so friendly and delightful as she presented herself as in this episode. So definitely something to look forward to in the coming weeks. And then Kipling and Niles are having a conversation, and it simply seems like Niles is giving Kipling the go-ahead to take out Dorothy. He said, I don't need one more day. So it'll be interesting to see how Dorothy takes Kipling taking her out, and the candle maker protecting her. So very interesting moment. Again, this episode was fun with the whole queen and the love bug, but again, we had some important kind of emotional moments with Cliff seeing his daughter and them kind of embracing each other. We get Rita kind of taking the weight off her shoulder with her mother and how she feels about her mom. We get the stuff with Niles. So again, fun episode, Teletubby version of the Doom Patrol doing their best version of Teletubbies with the Queen and the love bug. But we also get some important emotional moments, which I always love about this show. So let me know what you all thought about this 7th episode, your favorite moments, what you hope to see in the coming weeks, and all that fun stuff in the comments below. Keep an eye out for some content coming this week, guys. I have my a Netflix review coming soon, a Q&A this Saturday, Ask Me Anything at 3 p.m., my weekly recap of Perry Mason, and just a lot of cool things coming pretty soon. So make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Hope you all are staying safe, and we'll see you in the next video.